The morning sun stretched its golden fingers across the quiet suburban street, where Daniel crouched down beside his little sedan, checking the air pressure in the tires before heading to work. Life as a single father had never been simple, but over the years he had learned how to manage. Wake up early, prepare breakfast, pack his daughter's lunch, and then juggle his job while being present for her. He looked up as his daughter, Emily, ran out of the house with her backpack bouncing on her shoulders, a grin lighting up her innocent face. She was 7, with wide curious eyes that reminded him of her mother, who had passed away when Emily was just a toddler. "Daddy, don't forget, today's my art show at school," Emily said proudly. She had spent the whole week working on her painting, and Daniel had promised he wouldn't miss it. "I wouldn't miss it for the world, kiddo," he said, ruffling her hair. He smiled, though he often felt guilty. Emily deserved the world, but he was doing his best to give her as much love as two parents combined. They climbed into the car, and Daniel turned the ignition. Just as he pulled out of the driveway, he noticed another car parked awkwardly on the side of the street a few houses down. Its hood was open, and a woman stood beside it, frowning, her hair a little messy from the wind. Something about her body language screamed frustration. Without thinking twice, Daniel slowed down and stopped a few feet ahead. "Daddy, is she okay?" Emily asked, peering through the window. Daniel got out, offering the woman a polite smile. "Do you need some help?" The woman looked up, relief flooding her face. "Oh, thank goodness. My car just died on me. It won't start, and I'm already late for work. I don't know what to do." Daniel stepped closer, peeking under the hood. He wasn't a mechanic, but years of owning older cars had forced him to learn his way around an engine. "Let me take a look. It might just be your battery." Emily unbuckled her seatbelt and leaned forward from the window, watching curiously. "Hi, I'm Emily," she called out, her voice cheerful and unfiltered. The woman's stern, tired face softened instantly. "Hi, Emily, I'm Claire," she said, smiling at the little girl. Daniel grabbed the jumper cables from his trunk and quickly connected the batteries. Within minutes, the woman's car roared to life. She exhaled a sigh of relief, her eyes sparkling with gratitude. "Wow, you just saved me. Thank you so much. I don't even know how to repay you." "No need," Daniel replied with a shrug. "Just glad you can get to work." But before Claire could respond, Emily piped up again. She tilted her head and asked innocently, "Daddy, can she be my mommy?" The street fell quiet. Daniel's jaw tightened as a wave of emotion surged through him. Claire's eyes widened, caught completely off guard. She knelt slightly, looking at Emily with surprise and tenderness. "That's a very sweet thing to say," she murmured softly. Daniel cleared his throat, flustered. "Emily," he said gently, "Claire's a stranger. She just needed help, that's all." But Emily, with the stubborn honesty only children had, whispered, "I just think she'd be nice." Claire gave a small, almost nervous laugh. "You have a very kind daughter," she said, glancing at Daniel. "And a very helpful dad." Daniel smiled awkwardly, not knowing how else to respond. Claire thanked him again before driving off, and though the moment was brief, Emily wouldn't stop talking about it all the way to school. "Daddy, she was so pretty. And she smiled so nice. Don't you think she'd be a good mommy?" Emily asked with hopeful eyes. Daniel sighed, keeping his gaze on the road. "Sweetheart, sometimes life doesn't work that way. We don't just pick mommies like that." But deep down, her words echoed in his heart. The next week passed quickly, filled with work deadlines, school drop-offs, and Emily's endless chatter. Daniel thought the encounter with Claire was behind them, until Saturday morning, when he and Emily stopped at the local grocery store. As fate would have it, they spotted a familiar face near the produce section. Claire was there, comparing apples, her hair pulled back in a casual ponytail. "Daddy, look," Emily whispered loudly, tugging on his sleeve. "It's her." Before Daniel could stop her, Emily ran up to Claire. "Hi, do you remember me?" Claire laughed warmly. "Of course I do, Emily. How could I forget?" She looked up and saw Daniel approaching, a surprised smile tugging at her lips. "Well, hello again." Daniel scratched the back of his neck, suddenly self-conscious. "Hey, small world, huh?" They talked for a bit, and Emily, in her usual way, did most of the talking. She told Claire about her art show, her favorite cartoons, and even her favorite ice cream flavor. Claire listened with genuine interest, laughing and responding like she had known Emily for years. Daniel found himself watching, struck by how natural it all felt. By the time they parted ways, Claire had given Emily a hug and promised she'd come see her art at school someday. Emily was over the moon. "See, Daddy, she likes us. She should be my mommy," she whispered again as they walked back to the car. Daniel smiled faintly but didn't reply. Over the next few weeks, chance encounters turned into intentional meetings. Sometimes at the grocery store, sometimes at the coffee shop, and once when Claire stopped by to thank Daniel again with homemade cookies. Slowly, a friendship blossomed. Daniel found himself looking forward to their conversations. Claire was kind, hardworking, and funny. And Emily adored her. One Saturday afternoon, Claire joined them at the park. Emily ran ahead to the swings, leaving Daniel and Claire on the bench. Claire looked at him with a soft smile. "You're raising a wonderful little girl," she said. Daniel exhaled, his gaze lingering on Emily. "I try. Some days are harder than others, but she's my whole world." Claire hesitated before admitting, "I can tell. She's lucky. Honestly, I didn't grow up with much stability. Seeing you two together, it's kind of beautiful." Their eyes met, and something unspoken passed between them. Daniel's heart pounded, and he quickly looked away, unsure if he should let himself hope for more. But Emily wasn't shy about her feelings. That night, as Daniel tucked her into bed, she whispered, "Daddy, I think Claire is lonely. Maybe she needs us as much as we need her." Daniel kissed her forehead. "Good night, sweetheart," he said softly, though her words lingered long after she fell asleep. Weeks turned into months. Claire became a regular part of their lives, joining them for dinners, helping Emily with homework, and cheering at her school events. Emily's laughter was brighter when Claire was around, and Daniel noticed how much lighter his own heart felt. One rainy evening, after dinner at Daniel's house, Claire lingered as Emily went off to play. Daniel cleared the table, and Claire helped dry the dishes. The silence between them was comfortable, but charged. Finally, Claire broke it. "You know, Emily asked me something today." Daniel raised a brow. "Oh, what was it?" Claire smiled softly, a blush touching her cheeks. "She asked if I'd ever want to be her mommy." Daniel froze, the dish towel slipping from his hand. His heart raced, torn between fear and longing. She said that." Claire nodded. "She's very honest. And very sweet." Daniel swallowed hard. "I don't want her to get her hopes up. She's been through enough already." Claire reached out, gently touching his hand. "Daniel, I care about you both. More than I thought I would. And maybe she's not wrong. Maybe we could be a family." The words hung in the air, fragile but full of possibility. It wasn't a fairy tale, and it wasn't instant. They took things slowly, carefully. But over time, love grew, natural and steady, like a seed blossoming into something strong. One spring afternoon, at Emily's school fair, Daniel watched as Claire and Emily painted side by side, their laughter carrying across the field. He realized then that his daughter had seen something before he did. Children had a way of recognizing love before adults allowed themselves to believe in it. Emily looked up at him, her cheeks smeared with paint, and shouted, "Daddy. We're a family now, right?" Daniel smiled, his chest tight with joy. "Yeah, kiddo," he said softly. "We are." And when Claire turned to meet his gaze, her eyes shimmering with the same love he felt, Daniel knew Emily had been right all along. Sometimes, the heart of a child sees the truth before the grown-ups dare to.